Another massive water main break in Calgary, in the same area as last time. The city has been planning to replace the Bearspaw South feeder main, but evidently that replacement did not happen fast enough. This break will be one of the first major tests for Calgary's new mayor and council. Mayor Jeromy Farkas joins me now in studio. First off, Mayor, any new details past what we heard at the conference this morning?
So we know that crews are down actually in the hole right now. They're digging out the debris, flushing out the water. There's still going to be a lot of work that needs to be done to assess exactly what contributed to the failure. There's also going to be an assessment done on some of the monitoring equipment that are in there, the fiber lines, the acoustics, but just a big thank you to Calgarians for helping support our crews by voluntarily reducing water consumption, by staying clear of the area so that the trucks and crews could get in and out. I know that this is an incredibly frustrating time, especially over the holidays, but just again, big kudos to our first responders who deployed 13 live rescues all through the night, as well as the incredible team at our Emergency Operations Center who's really been working around the clock on this.
And this morning you called this feeder main a ticking time bomb. When will the city have it replaced?
So we're going to be pushing very hard for an accelerated release of the independent panel report that goes into some of the recommendations. And it's not just about twinning the line. This is a really critical piece of infrastructure that needs to be fast-tracked by this council. But there's also the governance. There's the accountability piece for city administration. This is not the first time that this has happened, and Calgarians are rightfully asking some really serious questions of our local leadership, the city administration, and we need to be able to show Calgarians that we have a plan so that this will never happen again.
On that note, you spoke with our colleagues on the Calgary Eye Opener about holding administration accountable, longer-term cultural issues and performance management. You've said people in the organization need to be improved. What exactly do you mean with that? Yeah,
so the big challenge right in front of us is the pipe. Obviously, we need to patch up this pipe. We need to build the replacement pipe that'll be running in parallel about 30 meters underground. That's a bit of a medium-term project, but we also need to look at the performance culture of our city administration. We need to be looking at our water system overall as well. Right now, Calgary loses about 25% of its water due to the aging nature of infrastructure. We have to catch up on that infrastructure deficit. And we also need to address the people component. So it's not just the pipes, it's also the people. We need to be there in support of our first responders, but we also need to show Calgarians that we have that plan to be able to ensure that no Calgarian will ever have to worry about this happening again.
And to be clear on this note, do you think that the feeder main could have already been replaced or this situation somehow avoided if there were different people in charge of our water system?
So I'm going to be pushing really hard alongside my council colleagues for the accelerated release of the independent panel report. Essentially, there's some really top leaders in business and public utilities who the previous council tasked with exploring questions like that. For me, I want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence, that we're taking the time to be very thoughtful, but we're not taking any moments longer than we have to be able to address this. So we got to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. We need to ensure that we have the information out there to Calgarians. If they have any questions, they can go to calgary.ca. There's information up there. There's about 3,100 dwellings right now that are impacted and about 100 businesses impacted as well. I really also want to encourage Calgarians to come out and support our businesses in Bowness and Montgomery who are really impacted by this. Let's step up as Calgarians, let's do our part and show that we can get this done.
And you've said how frustrating it is that this has happened again now, and you've also promised some bold action. What is the action that you're going to take, that you are going to take?
Sure, and this is a council that hasn't wasted any time on acting on our promises. We worked hard in our budget process to fund the needed infrastructure, about $1 billion in water infrastructure alone in this recent budget adjustments. We pushed hard to reduce the tax increase. We've started the ball rolling on repealing the blanket rezoning. Our council is extremely committed to moving fast on this. We're using the expert advice from this independent panel review. We're accelerating the procurement, and we will spare no expense to ensure that this is done. We will be relentless in terms of getting this done, constructing the replacement pipe, holding our city administration accountable, and continuing to involve Calgarians. We want to make sure there's a free flow of information, that Calgarians understand where exactly we're at, and that there isn't any unnecessary secrecy around this.
Well, we know it's been a very busy day for you, so thanks for taking the time with us, Mayor.
Yeah, wishing every Calgarian out there a Happy New Year. Thank you for this opportunity to serve as your mayor, and reach out anytime if I can be of assistance.